Malweni everybody, welcome back to my channel. Igama lam Yanelisa Ogopokfeld. I am a full-time ESL teacher based in South Africa. Welcome back to my channel. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Okay, grab a seat. We reserve the front row just for you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button as you grab your seat and a pen and paper, because we get real over here and very informative. I promise you, you won't regret hitting that subscribe button now. And we'll just give you 2 seconds to do it before we carry on. Okay, done? Okay, great. And to my returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I really, truly appreciate it. It really helps my channel grow. So make sure that you like the video if you find it informative. Leave a comment down below of other videos that you'd like me to do, or maybe just commenting about this video and sharing your opinion if you also have one with regards to the matter that we are going to be discussing today. And so now let's get straight to business. Today's video is dedicated to aspiring ESL teachers, or even teachers that are already on the Preply platform that are waiting for their trial lesson. And maybe you've already gotten your trial lesson, and so you're finding yourself on YouTube wondering, how do I go about teaching that trial lesson? Okanye mhlambi you're somebody who says, Yanelisa, you've guided me through putting together my profile, and now I don't know what I'm going to do when the trial lesson comes. And I want you to be ready to hit that trial lesson on the nail and convert that student to your regular. So grab a pen and paper, as I usually say, because I'm going to be dishing out all that I do for my trial lessons, and that has really gained me success on the platform. And you'll take some nuggets that you can maybe use on yours. Of course, personalize them to you, because you are a unique person. We all are, and that is why those students book us as their teachers. Now, let's get straight into today's video. Now, your profile is already hitting the student, and you find a message that says someone is actually interested in your profile. That is the first step. Someone has added you to their favorites, or maybe someone writes you a message and they say, hey, Yanelisa, this is what I need. You first start by sending them a message. Hi, whoever they are. So you're going to say, hi, Magdalena. Thank you so much for showing interest in my classes. Something like that. Obviously, you're not going to go like word for word verbatim, personalize it to yourself. I'm just giving you a rundown of what it should probably sound like. You thank them for showing interest in your classes. I also use that opportunity to just share with them what they can expect in our classes. So thank you so much for showing interest in my classes. What I do in the trial lesson is to try and figure out what exactly you need as a student, and to tailor make a plan that will be suitable for you. And also you can just tell me about all the things that you need and the specific areas that you need improvement in, and how you would like to learn. And then I'll also share my expertise as a teacher who's very experienced in the field on how we can proceed. In this way, the student is already sold, because you have already told them what they can expect when they come to your trial lesson, which is very important. Whenever I go about my things on Preply, I imagine myself being on the other side of the phone looking for a tutor. I would really appreciate it if somebody went straight into the point about why I should choose them, because you can imagine they've hearted you and put you as their favorite amongst many other tutors. Again, what are you doing to make sure that you stand out? And showing humility is one of those points. So straight off the bat, you are going to message them as soon as you possibly can. There are people who wait hours and hours before you respond. If I'm looking for a tutor, I want somebody who's prompt. Okay, so try to always have the Preply app open to make sure that whenever you get a message, pop in there and respond as quickly as you can. The notifications do get to you a little bit late sometimes. So be somebody who's just also proactive on your profile, okay? If you're working on your computer, amongst many other things, just open a Preply tab so that you can just clock in there once in a while to see if you've got a message of somebody who has picked you as a favorite, or somebody who has asked you about something that you need to promptly respond to, because you don't know how much time they have on their hands. And so you want to be always top of the list. Now that you've sent them this message, or some students will not even heart you, they'll go straight to booking that trial lesson. I usually say, thank you for booking a trial lesson with me. I look forward to learning with you, and I'll see you soon. Depending on whenever they booked a trial lesson, I'll even be very specific. If I see the date, I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see you on Friday at 6 p.m. Whatever the case is, so that they can see that you're actually a teacher that cares for them, because this is somebody who's probably nervous and who's dreading the step that they're taking. And yours is to hold their hand and show them that it's not as scary as they think. Now, D-Day comes, your trial lesson is here. Before you even step into that classroom for your trial lesson, I always say, make sure that you go into the test classroom for Preply, just so that you can play around with the classroom. It looks and feels so good when you enter into your class and you know exactly what's happening on the platform. You don't want to be as surprised as the student is. For goodness sake, some students have been on that platform for longer than you have. And the last thing you need is a student knowing more than you. So play around, look around the library. The library has things at the top like conversation starters, and then it has various courses that you can go through with the student. It has grammar references that you can use whenever a student has a particular pain point when it comes to grammar. And right at the bottom, it will also give you comprehensive tools for like a program that they can follow in various units, and they can write progress tests as they go for general English and for business English. Did you see what I did there? I literally told you what's on the Preply classroom, top of my head. That's how you need to be singing the song when it comes to that, because a student will appreciate you for knowing and walking them through it like somebody who actually knows. So take the time, play around, look and feel how things go, understand how things work, okay? And I know sometimes one of the things that made me panic was not knowing what the student sees on their side. But now that I do, I'll tell you that it's a little bit different from your side. Of course, you've got the teacher assistant on your end and perhaps some private notes you could take of the student or whatever you guys are doing in class, but it doesn't vary much from the student perspective and the tutor perspective. Another thing you want to note about the Preply classroom, it has what we call the vocabulary. Vocabulary is basically where if a student learns a new word, you're going to add that word to their vocabulary list. And that vocabulary list is only available to you guys when you are mid-class. If you guys are not in the classroom, they cannot access that vocabulary list according to my knowledge, but they can always come into the classroom to do their activities and create their own vocabulary list. Because a student might ask you after that trial lesson, "Hi Annalisa, can I see those words after we've left the classroom just to revise?" And you can just go ahead and let them know that perhaps not, so they can note them down and add them on their side as well when they're doing the activities. Those are the things you want to be prepared for, so that if a student asks, it's not written all over your face that you do not know. That's the last thing you want to be caught doing. Okay, so you play around the classroom, you see what you're going to do. Now, Preply does have a lesson specifically made for trial lessons. Have I ever used it? No, because for me, I feel like it's more nicer when it's more personable and the student is not just blatantly looking at the screen the entire hour or for the 25 minutes of the class. I use that time to really get to know the student. Now, it is very important to make it about them more than it ever will be about you. Now, it's finally time to meet your student in the Preply classroom. You are going to be on time for your trial lesson. It's very important. In fact, it's imperative. Okay, arrive on time, and what I usually do is just come along and say hi to whoever the student is. I don't like to say their name first because I could be butchering their name and I'm not about to do that. So I'll be like, "Hello," and they'll also say hi back, and I'll ask, "How are you doing today?" And then they'll obviously respond. After that, I go ahead and ask them, "How do I properly pronounce your name?" And then they'll say, "My name is Magda." And I'll be like, "Oh, hi, Magda." Then they'll say, "How do I properly pronounce your name?" Because I know that I have such an easy name to pronounce for them, I'll say, "You can give it a try." And then she'll have a look and she'll be like, "Yanelisa," or "Yanelisa," if she's from Italy. And I'll be like, "Yeah, perfect, Yanelisa." And then they'll obviously kiki haha about that, like, "Well done." I am someone who's very pro bringing my personality straight off the bat. Okay, I'm a very bubbly person and I let my students know and feel that, because it makes them feel very calm from the very onset. Now, I understand that this is not something that works for all students, because someone really wants a calm person and I'm there overwhelming them with all of my liveliness. And that's absolutely okay, because my firm belief is that you will find students that are meant to be yours and that match your energy. So if someone says my name correctly, I'll always say, "Yeah, that's it, you're officially South African, because now you can properly say my name," and then we'll laugh about that. And then I head over and ask them about what they literally do for a day-to-day life. I don't just jump into it. So sometimes you'll find students are very nervous. So at this point, they'll literally go on like a long paragraph of, "Hi, I'm a software engineer and I'm working for a company, a multinational company, and I want to learn English, and that is why I'm here." And then I'll be like, "Okay, girl," or like, relax, okay? I just want to start by saying, please relax, okay? This is a very safe environment for you. I really want you to feel very calm. I understand that you could be feeling a lot of nerves right now. Trust me, I'm also very nervous to meet you. So I want you to just relax for a little bit. I really genuinely just want to get to know you, okay? Then we'll get to the nitty-gritties about how I can assist you and what I need. For now, I just want to get to know you as a person. Is that okay? And they'll probably say yes. I'm like, okay. So now tell me, what do you do? And then they'll tell, oh, who you are, a little bit about yourself. And then they'll tell you about, hi, I'm from this country and that country, da 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 da. They'll go on and on and on. And then obviously just make conversation around it, right? Maybe they'll ask you, have you ever been there? I'm like, no, I haven't. Okay, make it really about them so that they're comfortable. I even go ahead and ask them about pets because I know they love pets. So I ask, do you have a pet? And then they'll probably say yes or no. Yes, I have a pet. It's a dog. Oh, what breed is it? And then they'll be like, breed? I'm like, yeah, what type of a dog is it? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, it's a Labrador. I'm like, that's really nice. Okay. And then what's the name of your dog? And then they'll tell me the name of my dog is da da da. They'll give you the name. I take note of all of those details. Now in the preparatory classroom, you'll have what we call notes. There are notes for the student to see, and then there are private notes. In that private notes, I take note of every little detail that the student says about themselves. I'll write how to pronounce their name if it's very difficult, where they're from, what they like to do, what they're doing for work, do they have a pet, do they have siblings, are they married, are they not, do they have children, what are their children's names? Because you best believe that I'm going to be referencing that in that trial lesson so that the student can really see that you care for them as a human being. Because if I'm going to be teaching you for 3 hours in a week or 2 or even once, I really want to know you as a person. So I take note of those things, and I'll be like, whenever we have a conversation that includes a dog or a pet, I'll be like, oh my goodness, so and so mentioning their pet's name. Let's say their pet's name is Sparkle. I'm like, oh, I'm sure Sparkle is so noisy when it comes to the home meetings if you're working from home. And then she'll be like, no, she likes to do this, she likes to, it really makes it such a personable conversation. Okay, and then after we're done with all of that, I'll give them a brief one about myself that doesn't really dwell much because I want them to feel like the trial lesson is about them. I'll just give them a brief one about myself. Like, my name is Yanelisa, as we've said. I have been teaching on preparatory for more than 4 years now, and I do many other things, but we'll get into that later on. All you need to know is that I'm from South Africa, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you with your goals this year. And it gets me to the question, how can I help you today? Why did you decide to take the step to learn English? And then the student will go on and on about what they actually need from you. In this moment, you will be taking notes because you do not want to miss a single detail about what they're saying. You let them go on and on and on. And after they've shared about what they need, I like to ask them, I know that as adults, we have different ways of learning. And I think for me, it's important that for all my students, I'm teaching them and helping them in a way that's comfortable for them. Do you have a specific way that you can think of that you would have imagined our classes would go? Do you want to focus on grammar? Do you want homework? Do you not? You take notes of all of those little things because at the end of the day, they are the superstar and you want to assist the superstar to be a superstar even more. So you'll take all of those notes and be like, okay, understood, great. And then they'll probably ask you, what do you think? Okay, maybe another student will even say, it doesn't matter for me as long as I'm learning. What do you think? Then this is your time to shine. If a student wants to improve their vocabulary, I like to let them know that I don't believe in really learning vocabulary in isolation, as in just memorizing words. I mean, for things like irregular verbs, we can, synonyms, antonyms, we could, but for me, it makes more sense if we learn things like that in maybe articles and reading and seeing how these words are used. You give them examples of what they can maybe imagine themselves doing with you as the teacher, okay? And then you will show them around the preparatory classroom. After you've told them what you think, you'll just say, okay, the preparatory platform has a few tools that we could use. Have you ever been on preparatory before? Then someone will say, yes, I have. And they've never seen the library for some reason. And so this is your time to shine. And then maybe someone will say, yeah, I've seen the library. Still take it upon yourself to show them, because maybe you will show them in a way that another tutor hasn't. And so that is going to make you stand out, okay? And maybe someone else will say, I don't know. Now, what you do need to know is that they can only access it if they're using a browser, I think on their laptop. And if they're using their phone, it only allows view only. The Preply Classroom is actually a very interactive platform. So if the student clicks something, it shows on your side. And you'll go ahead and let them to click something so that they can see how it works. And then you'll show them how the classroom basically works, because you've done your homework, right? You've went through the test classroom and you know exactly what to show them. And obviously you'll specify this to their exact needs. I always tell them before I even show them around the classroom, don't be overwhelmed. I just want to show you how things work around here. We don't have to do any of the things that I'll show you, and we don't have to do all of them all at once. But I just want to show you so that you know about the information and that you can use it. And then I'll show them about everything I've told you before. And then you might want to say, you're looking at the time and you're thinking, okay, we still have a little bit of time at this point. And I'll say, how about we try a conversational starter for the day? Okay, and they'll be like, okay, I'm keen. You can say, okay, you can choose one, and then you go on and enter that conversation starter. And then the first thing you'll see is the vocabulary that you're going to be using for that conversation starter. Maybe they might come across a word that they don't know, and that is also your time to shine, to show them about the vocabulary tool, because it also really blows their mind. They absolutely love it. I always say it's your personal dictionary for use between us to track how many words you've learned and also how you're using the words going forward into the lessons that we'll have. And then you show them all about this and just having a conversation with them, and perhaps do the conversation starter together, especially if their focus is improving their conversation and their confidence. And then towards the end of the lesson, you'll ask, how are you feeling? And they'll be like, okay, maybe I'm excited, I'm a little bit nervous. And if they're nervous, this is also your time to just let them know that be relaxed, it's really okay. I do this all the time. So you're definitely in safe hands. I like to have an open relationship with my students. So if you ever feel like something is not really working and we need to adjust things from time to time, please feel free to let me know and we'll do so accordingly. We'll also have some monthly feedbacks to see how you're doing. I'll also ask them in this very moment, how many lessons were you thinking of taking in a week, just so that I can gauge how serious they are and also how much time they have to invest in this journey. And also as a teacher, just looking at my calendar visually in my mind, what I can expect. They'll let you know maybe once or twice, what do you suggest? You can say we can start with whatever number you're comfortable with, and then when we're doing our monthly feedback, we'll check if we need to add more or we need to reduce as you improve. That will also, of course, make them feel that they're comfortable with you. And then I'll sort of explain what the subscription process is like, that after the lesson, it will give you an option to subscribe. And so you're going to use what we just spoke about now, being the number of lessons you're hoping to take in a week, compile those into a month, and then you'll have the number of lessons that you're going to subscribe to for the month. And then you can let them know that they can pause their subscription whenever, and of course they can cancel their subscription if anything ever comes up and they actually cannot continue learning with you. And then you'll ask them, do you have any questions for me? And then he will obviously answer whatever questions they have for you. And I think it's always important for me to ask them, how are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you anxious at this point? And then they'll let you know however they're feeling. And then it's also important to give them a task for the next lesson, so that it already feels like you are the chosen tutor. I'll say, okay, as we've spoken today, that you want to really improve your confidence, and I want us to work on certain things that I've noticed and picked up in our lesson today, like the use of habit words like and that's what we call habit words in English. So I noticed that you use quite a lot of those. It's normal, don't you even worry about it. I also use them from time to time, but I also make a mental check-in in my mind to make sure that I don't use them too much. Okay, so this is what I usually tell my students. Just in the place where you want to say or and you have the urge in you to say and just pause. Don't say anything there, just so that you can get into the habit of sounding clear and concise whenever you are conversing with somebody. It's always nice to hear somebody who's just speaking as audible and clear as possible. And I'll make an example for them. My name is Yanelisa, and I am from South Africa. I have been teaching on Preply for like 4 years. And yeah, I'm ready to be a tutor. And then I'll go, my name is Yanelisa, I'm from South Africa. I've been teaching for 4 years on Preply now, and I cannot wait to be your tutor that will help you improve. Did you notice the difference? And then they'll go, aha. And I'm like, that's how I want us to help you to start speaking clear and concise. Of course, it takes time, and that is why I'm here. But those are some of the things that we're going to be working on to making sure that you are more comfortable and comfortable as we go on. Because when you use a lot of ums and you start to doubt what you're saying. You're not sure about it. And I want you to be sure about it, because when you're sure about what you're saying, it boosts your confidence overall. And I always let them know that the more filler words and habit words like and you use, the longer your speech becomes. You even lose your train of thought because your mind is confused. And your body language, if you keep on looking there and there and there, you're going to lose your train of thought and it's going to disturb you. And that is why your speech is obviously going to take longer, and then you feel like you don't have enough vocabulary in you to say what you need to say. I can promise you, you have a lot more vocabulary than you know. It's just that we need to tap into that part of your brain that keeps that vocabulary by making sure that you're focused when you're speaking and that you've clocked in. Because when you're clocked in, your mind is going to know that game on. I'm just that giving Magdalena all the words she needs to speak in this conversation. And that is always such great advice for them, and they really value it. And I always say, you can try now to maybe use less filler words by just telling me maybe how your day was or how you're feeling about the lesson, or maybe just an introduction about yourself. And then they'll give it a go. And then whenever they make a mistake, just let them know, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, don't worry. How did that sound compared to the first time you told me about how you're feeling today or your introduction? Then Elisa, that sounded better. Interesting. I'm like, exactly. And then that always obviously captures their hearts, and you let them know those are some of the things that we're going to be working on as homework for the next time I see you. I really just want you to practice your introduction again for me in your mind. What do you want me to know? What do you want the next person to meet you when you're having small talk with them to know? And so you're going to practice that and let me know when we see each other again, and let's see how many filler words you use compared to today. Deal? And then they'll probably say deal. Or no, I don't understand. And you're like, okay, I'll explain that to you again for your homework. You're going to prepare your introduction again and just think about all the important things that you want me to know or somebody else that you'll have a conversation with to know. And then you'll prepare that. And next time I meet you, we're going to try to say that introduction again, but with less ums and uhs, which we call filler words or habit words. Understood? Yes, I understood, Lisa. Perfect. What are you going to do for the rest of your day today? That's always how I end my lessons, and then they'll let me know I'm going to the park, I'm going to the gym. I take note of that too, because you best believe when I'm seeing them for the second time again, I'll be like, girl, how did the park run go? How did Pilates go? Did you have fun? Yes. Oh, did you go with Sparkle or did you go alone? Oh, I went alone. Great. It shows them that you actually care. Those are all the tips that I have for you for nailing your trial lesson. I really hope that you have learned from this video, and all the other tutors that are on Preply, please use the comment section down below to just also share your advice to aspiring ESL teachers on Preply, and maybe even other teachers that are already on the platform and are just eagerly waiting for that trial lesson. I really hope that it goes well, and whenever you have your trial lesson, just come back and you've watched this video, come back, comment down below and be like, girl, I used the tips and it worked, because that really gets my heart pumping. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed at this point in time, I'm Lessa. Come on, just hit the subscribe button. We rode to 10,000 subscribers and I'm super excited for that. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up because it helps our channel to grow. And until I see you guys in the next time, bye-bye. 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 Go nail that trial lesson, and I wish you so many dollars and a good day from me to you. Mwah.